As I'm going to be focusing also on SEO and PPC, which are very much dependent on large behemoths like Google, like Facebook, we're seeing a trend that those companies are actually starting to distance themselves from this industry. Although at the same time we're seeing they have huge investments. Google, for example, is the largest investor in blockchain businesses in the last few years. Nobody knows that, but at the same time they're blocking advertising on their website. So I'm neutral about the industry. It's going to go the way people believe it's going to go. So the more people believe it's going to be positive, then it's going to be. If it goes otherwise, if ICOs, I believe, and I've talked with a few colleagues in the industry, ICOs should strive for self-regulation. I believe the community in this industry should get together and organize what the governments haven't been able to do for years already. We should come up with a manifesto, a way of how we believe the best ICOs should be conducted, what should be done for each of them to be real, verified, and supported by the community. And this should be a product of the whole community, rather than regulators who are not part of it, putting and restricting us with something they think is the right thing. I believe our world is run by organizations, not states and not small companies. There are organizations out there that are larger than countries, and I think that's where the regulation comes in. Because you could also see in the merger and acquisition space, it's these organizations that are buying out the smaller blockchain businesses just to dissolve them and put them away so that they don't disrupt their business models. And I think these are basically the most influential factors in the industry. It's large organizations that don't want to get disrupted, that are trying to pressure governments to introduce these regulations and control it more. I believe every ICO is dependent on a lot of things, but one thing is common throughout all of them, and that is community. If there is no community behind the project, I would not invest in that project, and most likely it would not be a successful one as well. I believe that happened a bit after December, so after the second week of January, when the market increased in significant value and then just bursted out. I believe at that point, people who are in the industry because of only speculation, that's when they dropped out. So the market grew because of the speculators, because everyone's grandmother was already investing in Bitcoin in December, and because people who didn't have an idea of how this works, they just put their money. And in January, those people, they were afraid, so they left the market. And I believe now consolidation happens, and only the people that are actually believing in the industry and the technology are staying and still investing. So no more speculations around it. I absolutely agree with that. We've come to a point where you cannot just launch an ICO with a white paper or website like you could do last year. For example, even August 2017, it was as easy as just launching a website. We're coming to a point where you actually need a real product. You actually need perhaps institutional investors that have invested in equity of your company, and of course a large following. And less companies can show this at this particular moment. So we'll see more companies that are already established that are launching ICOs, and less of these that are just a website, blockchain 4.0 type of companies.